Good morning, this is Fighting Fear with Kevin Ashworth. I'm Kevin. I am getting over a cold, so pardon my voice. This is the week of Thanksgiving, and so there's probably zero anxiety on anyone's mind during the holiday season. That's a joke. There's lots of anxiety. So this blog, if you haven't seen it before, is a video blog about anxiety. I'm the co-director of Northwest Anxiety Institute in Portland, Oregon. We treat anxiety disorders using cognitive behavioral therapy and exposure response prevention. If you don't know what those things are, please check out some of my other videos and you'll get up to speed. So today I wanted to talk about anxiety in the context of the holidays and also gratitude and gratefulness with it being Thanksgiving, because that's kind of what it's all about. So anxiety is often, anxiety is a normal part of everyday life. When you struggle with an anxiety disorder, such as obsessive-compulsive disorder, social anxiety disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, panic attacks, illness anxiety disorder, and so on and so forth, you are likely working every single day to rein them in, to manage your anxiety the best way you can. Well, when you have to allocate those resources, those cognitive resources, those emotional resources to other things, such as the holidays, such as being around family, which can be very triggering for just general kind of distress, your ability to manage your anxiety disorder gets more difficult and more challenging. So that's the first thing I want you to be aware of, that predictably, if the holidays are a challenging time for you because you have to be around family members that you don't like, or family members are discussing political issues, or having disagreements about things, or you feel like you're working on everyone else's schedule, those are very normal and typical anxiety provoking things. What they will do, however, is increase the likelihood that your OCD will flare. They will increase the likelihood that you're going to have more panic attacks. They will increase the likelihood that your excessive worry associated with generalized anxiety will increase. So if you know that predictably, you have to do some things to take care of it. Now, as you know, we do not want you to be reactive in your coping skills. We do not want you to cope in response to feeling stress, because we do not want your brain to learn that distress is bad. That does not mean you cannot engage in self-care activities. And so you got to ask yourself, what are you doing this week in the midst of preparing dinner, having family over, traveling, all the things, working, trying to fit in work, not being able to afford Thanksgiving, whatever is the stressor for you, what are you doing to care for yourself? So self-care activities include things as exercise, deep breathing, talking with friends, watching a movie, doing something that is nice. Now again, this is not in response to feeling distress. If you're watching Netflix to manage your obsessive thoughts, that's a coping or a safety behavior. That's not necessarily a self-care activity. One big thing that comes up for people around the holidays is boundaries. How to set boundaries with family members. And assertiveness. And so if you struggle with social anxiety, for example, it's difficult to put your needs first. And that likely comes into play around organizing your time and managing your time and setting boundaries. And then, of course, there's a lot of guilt following that, because if you don't have a very good time and you wish you would have set those boundaries prior, it makes it quite difficult. So how are you going to do that? Ask yourself now how you're going to set those boundaries. People are predictable. So your uncle that always discusses the things that you don't like, it's predictable. Your mother that asks you those questions that you don't like, or puts on you, or wants you to do something that you never really want to do, that is predictable. Do not show up to those family events and then feel surprised that these people did this to you again. Come up with a plan of how you're going to manage that. Learn how to set some boundaries. You do not need to give excuses for your boundaries, because people typically just poke holes in excuses. Having good boundaries is just saying, no, I can't do that, this is my line, without explanation. It takes practice, so practice with the small stuff first. This doesn't mean you completely change absolutely everything. And if you committed to something, that doesn't mean you have to follow through, but it's about having a conversation about what to do next. So take care of yourself. Do not put everybody else first. Know that you're the best mother, husband, father, student, daughter, brother, son, boss. You're the best at those things when you are taken care of. So it's not about being selfish to take care of yourself first. It's actually a little selfless, because when your anxiety is managed, you are actually more attentive, more present, and more aware to be around everybody else and to actually enjoy the holidays. The other piece is, I think it's very important to be grateful of the things that we have. This isn't to ignore the things that we're distressing or minimize the things that are difficult in our life. But entitlement is bred out of not really remembering and being aware of the things that we do have that are going well for us. And it's not just the things that we have, it's the things that are going well. So think about that and be grateful about something, and remind yourself of that. Anyway, that is it for today. Do something today that scares you. Fight fear, find freedom. I hope you have a lovely week. I'm very thankful for everybody that has watched these videos and wrote to me and gotten any benefit out of this. It's pretty cool to hear that this has been helpful for some people. So this is kind of more of a broad category today, but happy Thanksgiving. Hope you guys have a great week, and I will talk to you soon. Take care. If you would like to follow me, please subscribe to this channel. Send me an email, kevin@nwanxiety.com, or check out our Facebook page, Northwest Anxiety Institute. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.